Bubbleless is an easy to use but pretty robust concept mapping tool that you can use either for free or with a sign-in with different levels of access. So you can just begin without an account or anything by clicking Start Brainstorming, but there are some advantages to signing up, including saving your map and enabling you to go back to it and continue editing later. So if you want to sign up, you just click the Sign Up button and choose the free version. And you'll see all you have to do is create username, email, and password, and that's all there is to it. I will show you, for the purposes of this demonstration, what it looks like when you're logged in. So when you begin for your first mind map, you click on the Start Brainstorming link here in the center. And basically you just start with one central idea. So for the purposes of this assignment, that central idea is UDL principles. Now, when I've created that central idea, when I hover my cursor over that, I can change the color of that, I can increase the size of that bubble, and then later I'll show you how you can connect to different bubbles. So what I want to do now is to create the 3 different UDL principles coming from this central idea. So I'm going to choose this little Add Bubble button there. So the first principle is multiple means of representation. So now when I've created that, then I can move it over and do and modify it as needed. So then if I want to then create a second bubble off of my central idea, I go back, select that, and then click New Bubble. Multiple means of expression. I'm going to go back to my central idea again, hover over, then click a new child bubble. Multiple means of engagement. Can be a little tricky to grab it to move it around. You just need to click on a part of the bubble without any text or buttons. So now if I want to think about, okay, so what are some examples of how I've seen this UDL principle in practice? Now I want to create my bubbles off of my child idea here, but the process is the same. I'm just going to click a new bubble. And so one way I might use to engage my students is through humor. Another might be through novelty, or let's say games in this case. So now from here, once I can do this for all my different bubbles, and then if I want to connect some different technology tools or resources to this, then I can select that particular example of that principle in action, click a new bubble, and I might add Mission US is a great history simulation game. And so in the assignment, I asked you to make this a different color bubble so they'd stand out. So I just click the bubble I want to change, and then I can click a different color. And again, I can reorder these, move them around any way I want. The connections, though, do remain the same. So one last thought here, sometimes one example can illustrate more than one, or one technology might illustrate more than one example. So let's say, for example, in this Mission US game, humor is also a factor. I can hover over that button Humor to connect it to Mission US. So I hover over and then select the connector and then drag it to the bubble I want to connect it to. So then that way I can connect multiple ideas here. And again, let's say this one connects, I just click and hold. Oops, do that again. It could be a little persnickety. Click and hold it, and then I can connect it. So that way I can collect bubbles in multiple, connect bubbles in multiple ways. So once and you can scroll around the screen, it's sort of an infinite canvas here. You can scroll around just by clicking and dragging anywhere on the screen to move it around. And So now I'm happy with the way I've got it. If it's a pretty large map, I may need to zoom out slightly to make it all fit on my screen here. But when I'm happy with the way it looks, then I click on the export button, and I'm going to choose image and export, and it just saves it to my downloads folder here on my computer. That's the image file then that I can attach or link to for the assignment. So I hope this gives you some idea of what you can do with Bubble.us. You can certainly explore around a little bit more, but at least that'll be enough, I think, to get you started and do what you need to do for the assignment.